Hello and welcome to the Butterfly Sage. Today we are going to be inside and making a simple, cute Christmas fairy garden. This one here is a false Aurelia. The next one I've got is this beautiful Kalanchoe. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but it's flowering currently and it's so pretty. And then the next one I've got is one of my favorite houseplants on top of purple tradescantia is the polka dot plant. Now they come in several different colors. I've had one in pink. Unfortunately, that was one of the ones that I killed, but it was mostly because I forgot to water them. I'm really terrible with remembering to water houseplants for some reason. This one is cute though. It's perfect for Christmas. It's red and white. I love it. It's adorable. And then there is this tiny little plant. When I picked it up, I thought it was a zebra plant. But what I think this is now, after doing a little click ID with my plant app ID, it says it's a nerve plant. So they are finicky plants. Hopefully I can keep this one alive. I don't know. Already, I just bought them yesterday and already it's got browning on the leaves. I think I put it too close to the light. So we don't even have strong light right now. It's definitely not because I've over fertilized it, because they haven't had any fertilizer at all. So it's either underwatered in one day or too close to the light. So let's get started with adding just a teeny bit of fertilizer. This is only to get the roots going. This is just very similar. It's not the same product as Biotone Starter, but it does exactly the same thing. It helps with the roots. And I'm not wearing my gloves today, so my hands are going to smell lovely for a couple days. But this is just going to help with the roots. It's not going to try to force it to bloom or anything. Let's start with the Aurelia. Now this Aurelia is a tropical plant. Those of you who are in zones 10 and 11 can probably grow it outside. Those of you down in the Florida regions of South Florida can probably grow these outside. Anywhere else, it'd probably be hard. Even if you're a 10 in like Southern California, it might be difficult for you to grow outside because they require high humidity, and California is generally, most of their heat is a dry heat. So I'm thinking that it might be a little bit difficult to keep these alive outside in California. So these false Aurelias get pretty tall, like up to about 6 feet. And 2 to 3 feet wide. So eventually I'm going to need a much bigger pot, and it's going to have to go on its own, providing I can keep it alive. It's because these need humidity, the false Aurelia, I would keep them in a bathroom or run a humidifier near it, because they really don't do well without humidity. As a matter of fact, most of these plants, except for the Kalanchoe, I need to look that up so I can pronounce it correctly. All of them are going to need humidity. So I am going to keep them probably in my bathroom window facing east. Now, all 4 of these plants, they have one thing in common, and that is they all need a bright light, but indirect light. False Aurelia is from South Pacific. You want it in well-draining soil. You're supposed to keep it moist, but not soggy. So next, let's do the polka dot plant.
It comes from South Africa, Madagascar region of Africa, and I think it is one of the more prettier house plants that there is available. It comes in a few different colors, generally a lilac, a pink, white, green, or red. And it can grow 1 to 2 feet tall and 1 to 2 feet wide.
These definitely, they need humidity too, not as much as the false Aurelia. These can be okay with about 50% humidity, but these need like 60% or greater humidity. And so I might even need to run a a humidifier for this one. I think the bathroom would be perfectly fine for the polka dot plant, but it definitely needs humidity. It probably won't do so hot without it. Definitely keep it warm. Make sure it's warm where you keep them. See this nerve plant. I think I'm going to need to go get some more dirt here before actually, I think I'm going to pot that right there. I'm going to pot that one closer to this one. These two kind of need similar soil. While off camera, I moved the polka dot plant just a little bit back and added more dirt for the kalanchoe. I guess is how you pronounce it. It's kind of like cowabunga, I guess. Kalanchoe. Anyways, the kalanchoe doesn't need as much water as these three. It will take the humidity, but it doesn't necessarily need it. It does require the same light as the rest of them, so that's fine. So I think because it gonna need a little less water, in a couple weeks after the new year, when things are not so busy, I will probably take this out of here and put it in a separate container. They say to put it in a clay pot, that way the clay draws the moisture out, so it's not quite so, the soil doesn't stay quite as moist and soggy, because these really don't need it. This is a succulent, and so you treat it like a succulent. You're supposed to pot it in, you can use cactus potting soil or add a little bit more vermiculite to it, which I did not do. I have grown these before. I still have mine. It is now 5 years old that my son gave it to me. But I will probably also put this one in a hanging pot so my cats can't get to it, because this is toxic to animals, as is the false Aurelia. So for now, I'm going to keep this in my bathroom window where they don't go, and that way they can't get to it. But I will eventually probably have to gift, if this false Aurelia actually lives and gets big like it's supposed to, I'm probably going to have to gift it to someone who doesn't have any animals, because it is toxic to animals as well. As a matter of fact, they tell you if you have skin irritation problems to use gloves when handling this. I did not, as you can see, and I actually am very allergic to a lot of stuff. Found out this year I'm allergic to the giant hyacinths, but this didn't bother me. This hasn't bothered me. So anyways, you should probably wear gloves just in case when potting the false Aurelia or pruning it. So anyways, I'm going to put this kalanchoe up front a little bit further away from the other three, just because it needs a little bit less water. And then in a couple weeks, I will transplant it to a different pot and treat it like a succulent. But the good thing about that is they're very drought tolerant, which is probably why mine is still alive and made it, because all the times I have forgotten to water it, it's been okay, because they're drought tolerant and they can survive without a bunch of water. Anyways, this is a good plant for people who forget to water their house plants. It's literally the only houseplant I've kept alive for more than 2 years. Right now, my Tradescantia is alive. It's been 2 years. We shall see if it remains alive or not. Okay, so now to give it that Christmassy feel, other than the red and white, what kind of a Christmas fairy garden would it be without Santa? So I'm going to add Santa. We'll put him over here. Since there's red in this plant here, we'll put a little red here over on this side. And then there are I have some little lampposts with the wreaths on them. So we'll put one here. Put one here. Another one here. And I was going to try and use this gingerbread tree, but I'm not sure I'm going to. I think it's just going to be, I think it's going to be too big for the pot. I don't know. I'll have to look at it from my view, not in the camera. I think it's a bit too much. I don't know. I'll take a look at it a little later. I think I like it without it. So we'll just add the lampposts, Santa, okay, 4 is enough. 4 lampposts is enough, apparently. Okay, and now it's time to add the gingerbread man. I had a couple more, but I lost some. So let's turn it and see. I don't know. This kind of blocks the view of it all. I may rethink how I place this plant, especially since it's only going to be temporary. And I think 2 is enough of those. Put one here and here. I don't know. I might even just take this one out. It's kind of blocking the view. Let me move it over to next to the nerve plant, or at least I think this is a nerve plant. I could be proved wrong. If it's not a nerve plant, then it's got to be a zebra plant, but the care is pretty similar for both. Actually, almost all houseplants need bright indirect light. Okay. And you can see Santa a little better maybe. Okay, I guess that's as close as I can get it at this angle. Let's add the little gingerbread men. I ordered a fairy, a red Christmas fairy, but I didn't read the fine print, and she's like this big. So it's way too big. She's not tiny, so that's not gonna work. But I have a Santa and a gingerbread man, so let's see. What else can this? Can you see that from the camera? No. You can't really. Okay. How about this? No, I don't think I like that. No, I think I'm just going to leave it. I might leave its gingerbread man back here. Really what I should do is glue some sticks to the back of these, so that they will stick into this pot better. There, I think I like that. Okay. I think it's pretty cute. I think it's cute. I think I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and water it. I'm gonna take the gingerbread out. Put in back the gingerbread man. There, pretty cute little Christmas fairy garden. Yeah, I think so. Well, and there we have our Christmas fairy garden, if you consider Santa Claus the fairy. does it for our little Christmas fairy garden. This is the last gardening video before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, Happy Holidays. And until next time, feed the pollinators for me.